Yo, what's going on guys, it is Fox98 here. Welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2021 Road to Mercedes. If you haven't enjoyed today's video, feel free to drop it a like and subscribe to this channel if you're new around here as well. And as you can see, we're here for the Singapore Grand Prix, which is my favourite circuit to drive on last year's game. Let's see if it turns out to be a fun track to drive on this game. Anyway, heading into the weekend. The weather forecast is looking a wee bit sexy, and I'll tell you why it's looking a wee bit sexy. Is because there's some rain for qualifying. Now, we know that we seem to perform a little bit better when it's wet. Now, I'm not going to go through the objectives because there's no point. All we need to do is get one more Q2 appearance and we're in Aston Martin for next season. We just need to get out of Q1 one more time. Pretty exciting times. Development updates. As you can see, we had a very sour end to what was a great video not yesterday, the last time around. We had a general wear for the durability upgrade come on, which was awesome, but my major drag reduction and my major weight reduction upgrades both failed, and it really soured the note, because if those two arrived here for this track, we could have had some monumental outcomes, but we didn't. So here's how our driver details looking though. We've not obviously got any Drivers' Championship, Constructors' Championship, or pole positions. We scored 68 points for Williams, and we have not won a race so far. We have had one podium finish, was at the first round of the season. We finished on an average 8th position, which is not too bad. Our average grid position has been quite poor actually, P14, with our highest start being P10. Miles driven, 832, no one cares. Fastest laps, 1. And of course, we are Nicaraguan, whatever the fudge you want to say. I don't really care. Looking at the performance upgrade though, this is a bit of a difficult area to look at here, because we should really be right up there with Alfa Romeo, Alpine, and also AlphaTauri. But we're not, because my upgrades failed. So Haas are now right up our trumpets, and it's not very good. We're just, in a bit of a pickle right now. I can't change PUs there. Not the best in the world. We'll change to those for now. So yeah, here's how the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship goes. Of course, giving you guys a little bit of a proper introduction into how things are looking as we head to the final set of races for the season. So let's go straight into practice then. I'll go through practice 1 with you guys, so you can see pretty much just me simulating time and just getting some points. There's nothing really exciting about it. I'll be honest with you, this is only a 70% chance of succeeding. It's not going to work. It worked. So yeah, I mean, not really much I can say about it, apart from we've smashed the practice programs, got ourselves 3 cheeky objectives in there, and I'll move on to the rest of that, and you'll see me for qualifying. There we go. Track's ramping up quite nicely at the moment out here. Right, and just like that then, we are through into Q2, which does mean for next season, we are driving for Aston Martin. We have completed the long-term objectives to get an Aston Martin seat. So for the rest of the season now with Williams, we can kind of relax a little bit. The pressure's completely off. We know full well that we're driving for Aston Martin next time around, and I'm very much looking forward to that. But having a look then at how things stood, we actually ended up finishing in P14. I didn't go out for a second run like a lot of the drivers did, and it just about paid off there. George Russell unfortunately getting knocked out, but we had half a second in hand, so absolutely fine there. And let's move on then into the next qualifying session. Having that lap then with DRS saved me. I went out for 2 runs in the final part of qualifying. The first run only got me P12, I think it was. But the second run, DRS was enabled, so we had 3 straights with DRS in my back pocket there, which really actually gave me a massive boost there. I don't know what the XP is. Okay, anyway. Let's go, man. Q3 for a second race in a row then here at Singapore. P3 on the road, and obviously, DRS played a big hand in that. We went fastest. Show you actually. Do not want to restart the fucking session. Jesus Christ, on a bicycle. Bottas, then you can see he did a 29.5, a 42.6, and a 38.7. We did a 29.4, a 42.9, and a 37.9. So overall, we were a 10th off in the final sector. We were a 10th up in the first sector, but we were 3/10 down in the middle sector. 3/10 down, though, is still not a bad effort. Okay, that first lap was enough to get ahead of Stroll, but no one else really there. It felt like a very nice lap, but just a little bit unsettled with the car in terms of its balance.
2 laps of fuel left.
Holy moly, that's the best I could have done. Absolute best I could have done. You know in the last episode when I said Russia's the best track so far in the F1 2021 game? Yeah, take that back, that's Singapore. Straight up. I love this track. Oh, it's so much fun to drive. I don't care about the XP. There it is though. Okay, now that Crofty is shut up, as you can see, that's the best I could have done. I literally put everything on the line there. For this qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton will start from pole position ahead of Carlos Sainz by 5/1000ths of a second. Ricciardo in third, Verstappen fourth, Bottas fifth, Norris sixth, ourselves in seventh, Leclerc eighth, Stroll ninth, and Perez 10th. But we've got a free tyre choice as well, so we'll take a look at that heading into the race.
Here we go then, it's Formula One in Marina Bay once again, and welcome to all of you at home who join us today for this fascinating race around the baking hot, horribly humid, but very beautiful streets of Singapore. The Marina Bay Street Circuit then has 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right, taking us a total of 3.1 miles around the landmarks of downtown Singapore. An average lap speed around here, just 107 miles per hour. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk briefly about Lando Norris. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and talented Spaniard Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Verstappen, Valtteri Bottas, Thomas, Leclerc, Stroll, Perez, and Pierre Gasly. Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda, and Russell. Norris, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Mick Schumacher, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Esteban Ocon. They've taken a grid penalty. Raikkonen and Nikita Mazepin. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right, well, that grid position, P7, now becomes P6 because Norris takes a grid penalty. Looking at the race strategy though, they want to do soft to mediums. I'm going to be a slut and see what everyone's up to. Hang on a minute, it says that I'm on the mediums, but... well, everyone's on the mediums basically, bar some guys that are on the hard. Yes, you can do that. Do I care? Not really. So racetrack, oh no, it selected me on the mediums. I was getting confused. Why would I do medium hards, you utter schlongbags? We're doing medium soft, thank you very much. How long can we... yeah, you really want to do like 5 or 6 laps or something like that. So we'll do soft to mediums and then we'll drop the fuel down a bit more to about 16.5. That's normally enough. Let's get straight into the race then. Here we go. Those on the hard tyres, you've got issues. You should not be running hards around Singapore in a 25% race. That's guaranteed. Alright, lights out. Epic start from us.
The store is getting worn, reducing our overall capacity.
Whoa!
The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
So a bit of energy store wear there from Jeff. Let me know. I wanted to go down the inside of Sainz. I really did. I got the speed to try and get him on the straight. Absolutely not by the looks of it. Trying, but not close enough. We can settle down in P3. I'm down with that. This looks like the best chance we're going to have to pass Sainz. We'll drain the battery to do it. Around the outside, I think. Bit of contact. But we're through. Question is now, do I have the pace to pull away from the sides?
Good job.
I don't know, actually. It was very even, but I was just getting impatient. I just wanted to get away from him, to be honest. We're up into second place now. Verstappen, meanwhile, is really struggling on those hard tyres, as expected. Why they wanted me to go onto hard, I don't know, but he's already 7 seconds behind. That's as messy as you can get into a pit entry. But we're boxing now for the soft compound tyres. Hamilton has to wait a little bit just for us to pop on through there. But it's been a brilliant first stint. Not a lot to really talk about, but mate, this track is just awesome. I just absolutely love this track to death. Whether that's just driving it or bloody going to it. I love this track. And we're going to come out in some pretty clean air as well. Tsunoda and Vettel up ahead. I don't think we'll catch him by the end of the lap, but Lewis might. And that, oh no, fucking Gearbox is going to get in my way. Oh, bollocks. I'm going to have to barge my way past him. Both of my rivals, Sainz and Bottas, though, stay out, which is interesting.
The gap to the car ahead is 14.
There's Sainz and Bottas in the pits. And as you can see, we have massively undercut them by going, coming in a lap early. It's 5 seconds on our name. And we were able to maintain the pace with them last time, so yeah, comfortably in P2 now. Just a couple of laps to go. We're about to get our second podium of the season. But this time, the podium will be on pure merit. Well, here we are then, final lap of the race. It's been, quite frankly, the best weekend we've had in F1 2021 so far. What an epic drive. Lewis Hamilton is going to win the Singapore Grand Prix, but on pure merit, we're going to cross the line and finish second at the Singapore Grand Prix. This track is bloody awesome, man. I love this circuit. I'm so glad that it's fun to drive on F1 2021, because I would have been furious if it wasn't, but it's still an awesome track to drive. Let's have a look at ourselves on the podium.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Right, so here are the full race results then. So Hamilton wins the Singapore Grand Prix ahead of ourselves in second place. Carlos Sainz finishes in third with Bottas in fourth ahead of Ricciardo. Then it's Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen in seventh, Stroll eighth, Gasly in ninth, and then Sergio Perez finishing in P10. Crucially, as we go into the Drivers' Championship then, you can see Lewis Hamilton extends his lead at the top of the championship to 32 points over Bottas, with Norris now 67 points behind, and then it's Ricciardo, Verstappen, Leclerc, then it's Sergio Perez. We jump in front of Sebastian Vettel after I don't think he scored points today, and we obviously picking up that P2. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes are 154 points clear of McLaren, with Red Bull on 214 points, Ferrari on 158, with Aston Martin on 120. In the battle between ourselves and AlphaTauri, we're on 86 points, AlphaTauri are on 52 points. So that is a massive, massive advantage for us heading into the next set of races now. But we're going to go into the laptop, see what we can do with the car, and get pressing on with the rest of the season. Right then, so we're back at the laptop now, ready for the Japanese Grand Prix. We've got a gearbox upgrade coming onto the car, but what we're going to do is, I believe there was an upgrade that we weren't able to afford to actually get back onto the car. I think it was to do with the chassis, actually. Yeah, it was. So it was this monocoque structure, so we needed to spend some resource points on that, which we are going to. And then we're going to... Ooh, do I want to do that? The problem is the aero, I think, is where we're really far behind. But I can't make any upgrades, can I? Not really, no. Having a look at the power unit side of things, I could do with an... Oh, and ERS cooling is already in the pipeline, never mind. And I can't do any other upgrades there. So there's the general wear one there. So, what do I want to do? What do I want to do, actually? Good question. We'll go for the hydraulics then. Why not? We'll get that onto the car. And to be honest, I would try and rush it, but I know it will just fail. So we'll push that one to go through for then. And as you can see, we've got some massive upgrades now on the way. Gearbox Upgrade, though, goes onto the car in time for the Japanese Grand Prix, meaning that when we go to the durability side now, you see that we can now go ahead and do some other upgrades for the other areas of the engine, which we may possibly do, but I don't really see the point. But guys, that is going to be it for this round of my F1 2021 Road to Mercedes. If you have enjoyed the video, drop it a like, subscribe if you're new around here as well. I'll see you guys for the next one. Take care all. Peace.